lives peacefully at night. Hey, Iowa State, sweet dreams.
Fantastic call from not even our friend.
It is funny, though, because he pulled the trigger one play early.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What else is funny? I got the link 42 seconds ago.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a miscommunication on the part of Matthias and I.
Holy.
Dylan's like,
This has been a chaotic day for everyone.
Yeah, indeed.
I didn't make the show link until like maybe 20 minutes ago, and yeah, everything's just been a disaster.
Yeah, it's just been a day.
Yeah, it's been one of those things. But yeah, I don't know. Gus Johnson on a call is always good, and the whole like Fox Big Noon, the Barstool show, whether you love or hate Barstool, everything was fantastic leading up in that game, and then obviously Iowa State wins the Cy-Hawk game 16-13, and we are back to recap all that here today.
I'm not that happy, like I said.
Well, yeah.
Not very happy about it.
Dylan's not happy about it.
And
I don't think Coach Campbell was very happy about the toughness of this team after the game. Obviously, you're always happy to win a football game, but
I think he was happy with the toughness of the team.
Yeah, you didn't see the post-game press conference?
No, I saw the post-game press conference, but he said he was impressed with the toughness of the team.
No, he said the opposite.
He said that they did a good job of maintaining their composure, and then he started seeing some fatigue for the first time in the season.
I need to pull the clip.
He didn't go on a press conference and be like, "Yeah, it's a great win. Our team's a bunch of bitches." Like,
no, he did not.
I just didn't.
I'll see if I can find it.
It felt like, man, you go to like the first couple drives of the game, and it felt like belt to ass. And I was like, we're gonna run away with this thing, and it is gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yep.
And I honestly believe that we were running away with that thing if it were not for the muff punt debacle.
Yeah, the muff punt was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I mean, unfortunately, in the annals of Iowa State bad call history, it's like top 10, probably not top 5, but it was really, really bad.
So can we talk about how, because it's been half a week and I'm still not fully processed what all happened there. So they throw a flag for kick catch interference.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what happens is they pick up the flag, right? Correct?
Yep.
Are you laughing at that name on?
I'm laughing at like the names,
Sigma?
the name and of the comment with an unnecessary shot across the bow at Dylan. That fucking guy.
So
I thought I froze again.
no, that's not Jirel made a new account probably.
Yeah.
He's come to get his revenge. So where was I at?
You're talking about
They pick up the flag, right?
Yep.
And then what happens is they go to review because the call in the field is that Iowa recovered the muff punt. One, I don't know how they pick up the flag. Right? Like,
right.
Are we agreeing that?
It was quite clearly a flag.
Like they try to say that he got blocked into him, but like,
I mean, that wouldn't make any sense considering the blocker was between the returner and the defender.
Yeah,
because there is there's a word they use for it. You get a little bubble to make a play on the ball as a
halo.
Yeah. So they shouldn't have picked up the flag. But anyways, call on the field as Iowa recovers the ball. The football did not hit us.
Nope.
It did not.
Nope.
How do you miss the call and then you review it in slow motion 500 times and then you miss the call again? Like, okay, so everybody, I've got one right here, watch. So this is the shape of a football right here.
Some might even say that is a football.
Yeah. Look.
That's a logo on it. Look at that.
It comes in like this, right? Boom. His arm is here and it goes like this, right? So if it had hit his arm, you would have seen this. See, it would have been like that.
Yeah.
Would have moved, and it just went like this. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I spent like 5 days thinking about this. I can't sleep at night.
just looking at it, there's a couple plays in this game where if you just apply basic knowledge of physics and how things work to the
Physics.
play, you'd be like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like like that one, the other one is the Mark Gronowski spot that allowed them to get their drive at the end of the half to get their touchdown, where he was clearly hit about a half yard short of the line, and you couldn't see him for a bit. But the next thing we saw was him 3 yards backwards.
Yeah, at least that one, there was like one angle I was like, I could kind of see it. Like there was an angle that was like,
Fucking
I've watched this play in slow motion 6,000 times on live television.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's just the muff punt changed things. I mean, it gave Iowa that short field, obviously, and it took the wind out of Iowa State's sails, I think. Just
they had 3 yards of offense or something crazy. Like
yeah, so Iowa had
clip.
put together 5 yards of offense through 12 offensive plays.
Yeah.
That's how it was going.
It's this clip that I was referring to is uploading, which it's a little bit like what you said to Levi, but it's also like he was like he didn't say specifically, I guess the toughness was the bad part, but it's like in there, but not in there at the same time. So you guys can interpret it as you will once it here we go. All right.
Coach, you've talked so much about this first 4-game stretch to be 75% of the way through it and 3-0. Do you feel any relief having that?
No, honestly, I probably feel a little concerned. You know, I don't think we were great in the second half. I think that, you know, there's probably for us, our awareness of like where we are right now, our toughness of like, how can we do right tonight? How can we be ready tomorrow? You know, I think this football team's going to have a lot of questions to answer next Saturday. I mean, you know, we're going on the road. You're going, obviously, you know, last time we went on the road and played, you know, I think in a non-Power 5 school, we got beat. You know, like there's a lot of challenges at hand, and so I think physically, I would say I'm a little concerned about where our football team is going into this week, and we're going to have to do a great job. The head coach, our staff, our kids. But, you know, we got a great opportunity to grow forward and kind of show our toughness here a little bit along the way. And like I said, I think if you look at the history of all the teams that played in Ireland, I don't think they've been at this point, right? They haven't gone to 3-0. So this will be a great challenge for this football team and see if we can continue to move ourselves forward. And we have to get better. It's still the early part of the season. I think that's the biggest challenge. Great teams get better. Are we continuing to get better? Or are we too tired because you know what's gone against us? So we'll see. I think we'll have to answer that question next Saturday.
It was probably more of the traveling thing than anything.
Yeah, I think I think that was a continuation because I mean, since May or April, he's been really beating the drum of like teams that go to Ireland fall apart. They don't do very well. All this, and then you see like Kansas State is living Matt Campbell's worst nightmare right now.
See, Chris says he's right. Calling them little bees.
No, actually, the translation was we played down to the level of a shitty opponent last week, and we're about to go play another shitty opponent, and we need to not play down to the level of the shitty opponent.
Yeah,
that was the coach speak translation of that one.
Yeah, I think he's mainly referencing like he's concerned that Iowa State's now playing the 4th game in a row after all this, and they probably feel like they've been playing catch up in terms of just like being healthy and being rested and things like that. And I don't think he was like saying they weren't tough enough. I think it was like actually the opposite of that. But I think he's just concerned about this week about managing fatigue and stuff like that, especially when it's supposed to be 95 degrees down in Jonesboro.
There is that.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I'm a guy that has grown up in Arkansas. Majority of my life I've been here. That place sucks. It is bad. Like whatever you could imagine, the worst of the worst playing the worst Kansas team in their old stadium, however bad of an environment that is, it is worse. There's nothing there. There's literally you'll struggle to find somewhere to eat.
From what I heard is that they're staying in Memphis. Yeah, they're staying in Memphis.
Yeah, and that's another deal because they probably have to fly into Little Rock, I would assume, and Memphis is
I imagine they'll fly into Memphis and then just stay there.
Or I guess Memphis, yeah, if they're going to stay in Memphis. It was one of the two. Little Rock and Memphis are close, but I know it doesn't like make sense, but they're like not far
Fancy
away.
Rex, I'm not a Memphis guy, so like that's a
Yeah, so I'm actually not going to the game because I need more visuals. I need like a whiteboard and like markers.
get yourself a whiteboard tomorrow.
So Arkansas is like kind of square-ish shape, I guess.
In the
And
neighborhood.
yeah. And I live in the northwest
It's upside
corner.
down Missouri. It's the pants.
I live in the northwest corner where there's like actually stuff going on and like humans live here and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Jonesboro's in the northeast corner, and there's not anything that connects those 2 points. So like
It's not a direct drive.
you either have to go up through the mountains and like the Ozarks and stuff in Missouri, or you got to go to Little Rock. Like the best way to get from where I live to Jonesboro is via helicopter. Ironically,
Because you have to drive southeast to Little Rock and then back northeast to Jonesboro. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes like it would take me almost as long to drive to Ames.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4.5, 5 hours.
It sounds like butt, especially to drive over there to sit in an empty stadium in like 95-degree heat.
Yeah, I mean, top 15 team coming to town. Maybe like they've got some people to show up. I don't know if there's enough people that live there to do so, but
I mean, I think their stadium holds like 35,000.
it's not a terrible stadium. I took a visit there.
Mm.
That was a trip too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like call out names of coaches and stuff, but Buddy was.
I need to do some digging. Like,
He
when,
was.
I need to find out when you would have taken a visit there.
He was. He was like, yeah, we might have you play tackle. Might try you out on defense. I was like, and at this point, I've got like 20 something offers from like way bigger schools, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but like, one, I'm not coming to Arkansas State. But if I were to, I would tell you what position I was playing. I'll play quarterback if I want to. All right, we're not doing this like
This is how this is gonna.
This is how this is gonna go. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not coming. If I'm gonna go play tackle in the SEC, if I'm gonna play tackle, like I'm not gonna.
Right.
Sun Belt.
Hell yeah.
Do we have any more on the Iowa game? It just pisses me off.
I'm doing like a little bit of back research on who would have been coaching then. Blake.
It
Anderson.
was the Anderson guy.
Yeah, Blake Anderson, Walt Bell. Oh yeah.
Well, all in all, in the Iowa game, we got sucked into playing their game.
Dre Greenlaw's adopted father is the guy who recruited me there. Actually, he's a good dude. Brian Early, good dude. Yeah. So I'm just not happy. Really, I don't think Campbell is either. Because we kind of said it last week, you have to be able to like put teams away that are not as good as you.
Right.
And I get the rivalry thing. I get the mental block. I get the Matthias isms or whatever kind of disease.
Just saying I was right.
That brain rot disease you have.
I do have them. Yeah.
But I mean that's it's not just us though, right? Like you watch them play all year long. That's the only way they can win football games, and that's what they do.
I mean, not only did the muff punt like change when Iowa got the ball in the second half, third quarter, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, their offensive line is pretty good. And they got into a rhythm on play calling on the running the ball. They didn't even throw that drive. I think they went like 7 straight runs. And they just got the ball was rolling downhill. It wasn't going to be stopped, but then thankfully we did make some plays that hold them to a field goal. And that kind of sucked the wind out of the sails a little bit in the third quarter there. And I don't know how many plays total I had. I think we had like 48 plays offensively. So
I think it was like 55 or something. But it was a really low number.
Yeah. So it was really that's the Iowa way in that game for this year to limit the possessions for Iowa State. And they did a good job that by going on a 9-minute drive in the third quarter and keeping the Iowa State offense back, off the field after we went 3 and out right after the half. So, if they would have gone down and got a field goal or a touchdown and, the game would have been certainly over at that point, but they did a good job, Iowa, of coming back with that 9-minute drive and then capitalizing on some points and then just basically sucking the game right into their favor but thankfully their offense can't make enough plays to get back and take the lead. And also thankfully we got a weapon that is named Kyle Conradi that, we had a minute 54 left on third down, but against a Phil Parker defense, maybe you don't want to get too aggressive on 3rd and 9. You run that short run play, or it was a short pass. I don't even remember at this point. And you get into the range for Kyle Conradi, and he drills it. And then it
was a Rocco keeper to the left.
Yeah,
he basically just went forward like 2 or 3 yards and then just went down, basically.
But what we did confirm is our tight ends are fucking sweet.
They are fucking sweet.
Yeah, and then
the touchdown catch was beautiful.
We talked about it last week. I said Phil Parker's number one thing is he's got to figure out how the fuck to defend Ben Bramer when they put him on his 6-foot safety. And they didn't figure it out. They didn't figure it out.
Little boy.
That's exactly right. Ben Bramer mossed the dude.
And also the honestly the most underrated, I don't know, I haven't seen much about it. The catch by Burkle was like probably the most important play of the game.
Which one?
It got tipped at the line of scrimmage and tipped.
By Townsend. Yeah, the double tip.
And those are the
that
plays
was like a really big third down. Third down.
And those are the plays in the previous years against Iowa that have like gone against us.
Right.
And it's nice. It's nice just to get one.
In 2013, that shit gets picked and returned to the house by Mike Hyde or some bullshit every time. It's like, it's nice to come out on the to come out on that side, at one time, just because it was. I mean,
and so far that's the biggest offensive play that Xavier Townsend has had, other than the touchdown.
No, well, I was gonna say here he had a jet sweep touchdown against South Dakota.
I'm not really counting that one at this point because we were like cruising at that point, but biggest offensive play.
It's a touchdown.
And it like the beginning of the game, man, we were like controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball really well. Like
I would agree.
You could just tell by watching the game, like they're struggling to get it past the line of scrimmage, and we have wide open holes. Like we're getting 4 yards is like a minimum every play. And I mean, I think that's huge. It didn't continue, unfortunately, for like the whole game. Kind of lulled a little bit, but when it starts like that, I mean, we have it. Like we talk about the offensive line a lot, and we have like finally you're starting to see like, okay, well here's a good defensive front, and we are just manhandling.
Through 3 games, I've been pretty impressed with both the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah,
I think the defensive line, we know Iowa's offensive line is really really fucking good, like top 10, top 5 unit in the country type good. They're really fucking good. But Dominique Orange was dominant on Saturday individually. And we saw them hold their own against Iowa's running game, which did almost nothing and didn't do anywhere near as much as the Iowa needed it to. Right. And then towards the end of the, Caleb Bacon got a sack. And then, towards the end, then they get the end of the game, Tomato McDonough had his 2 sacks. I feel like that told me that while the pass rush is never going to be like a weapon, like it kind of like it was like when Will McDonald was there, where you throw that dude out there and you've got a pass rush.
I think that they might have unlocked something with those 2 sacks with McDonough.
I agree,
because it's going to have to.
He just beat his guy. I mean,
it wasn't like, you look if you go back to really before that drive and then the last 2 games, like, they were kind of utilizing him to like take on 2 guys, hold the offensive line from getting the second level. And then like that drive was just like, just rust the pasture. And he literally abused the right tackle. Like it was, like it was nothing. And he almost had the sack for a 3rd time in a row, but he kind of got clipped on the backside and knocked him to the ground.
He got held. He got held big time on that last one.
To me, seeing that in a live game, like I feel like Heacock might unleash that just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, I mean, until you find like the Will McDonald type of guy, that's what it was, right? He had like the least amount of snaps played on the defensive line when he played. Like,
yeah, he was a pass rush in a can. I mean,
you throw him out there, it's a holding call or a sack pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Until you find a guy like that, I mean, I think the way our defense is structured, you have to have like schemed up pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
But there was an alarming stat today by Cyclone Fanatic. I don't know if you guys saw that.
What was that?
Iowa State has scored 4 touchdowns against Power 4 opponents this year, and has allowed the other team to score a touchdown the very next drive all 4 times.
John Haycock talked about that in his press conference. That they're trying to figure out why.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there'd be like 4 is a big enough like sample for that, but like
4
for
seems like a small
one.
enough number where it's like it could just be kind of coincidence that just happens to be then.
But it's every touchdown we've scored.
It is every touchdown. I mean, there's a 100% hit rate on that stat.
It's against 2 teams that don't really like wow you tremendously. I mean, I think Kansas State has more offensive power than
Kansas State
Iowa
has some explosive ability,
and we didn't really score that many
place
touchdowns
is on
against Iowa.
Fire right now.
Fucking Kansas State somehow has taken away a good win.
That place is on fire.
If it happens against Arizona in 3 weeks or 2 weeks, then
we can call it a problem.
I'll call it an alarm.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it right now.
But it's still something that is notable, I guess, that has popped up in these 2 games against Power 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything that like ties that in to anything.
Hey,
like,
I don't know how you find the correlation, I guess, but
like maybe you're as a team you're getting too high with the highs, and like I don't know.
So Chris was asking if that pass rush was saved to the end of the game. I don't know if it was like specifically saved like for the end of the game so much as like I said, they don't really like tout the pass rush. They don't really like throw it out there as a weapon they use on defense. They're going to let their secondary do their job and then hope once in a while you get a defensive lineman in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. Like the 3 down linemen, like the Will McDonald and like Jaquan Baileys of the world are like kind of an anomaly in the whole thing. But like the main focus of those 3 guys is to allow them to suck up the blocks and then allow everybody behind the 8 guys just flow to where the ball goes and create havoc from there.
They were able to get pressure with the linebackers off of edge blitz.
Yeah, and if those 3 guys aren't doing that, then it just looks like shit completely. But, so far, 3 games, they have done that. And now we have seen McDonough been able to beat his guy one-on-one, that maybe you can utilize that a little bit more if you wanted to get kind of spicy with the defensive front, up front there, and do some different things with your linebackers and stuff like that. So you can allow them not to eat up as many blocks on a third.
I can't talk about Avery Johnson. We don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But.
Well, it's like I remember seeing a tweet from somebody, or maybe it was a Plus and Blue Sky. I think it was from Spencer EDSBS from the old sport, used to be with SB Nation a long time ago. But he tweeted out something about how funny it was that like watching Iowa's offensive line keep a three-man rush out the club or something like that. And I'm sure, but that group is not meant to be like an elite path. They're not like meant to just chase down quarterbacks. They're early in the game, especially, I would say it's perfectly happy to rush 3, sit back with 8 in coverage, and make them throw through really, really tight windows. So it's like that's not really what there's
a reason why Dominic Orange is not asked to be thinner than what he is.
Right.
Like be quicker. He's there to eat up people.
He's there to eat up 2.5 linemen every play.
He does it too.
He absolutely does it.
He does it. He plugs like 3 holes.
Yeah,
he's your typical basically nose tackle and somebody who learns like a 4-3 defense or Tampa 2 defense, where if your nose tackle sucks, the rest of it's not going to work. And Dominic Orange is that. Obviously, in the 3-man front, you want your outside guys to eat up blocks too. But
right, I think the short version of Avery Johnson, I think, is you can see he's got all the ability in the world to do pretty much whatever he wants, but he is a little bitch.
Yeah.
That's I mean, Avery Johnson runs and plays like a coward. So that's
and he looks like a chick that drives a Subaru and rides dirt bikes.
There it is.
There it is.
I said he looks like a chick that drives a Subaru and rides dirt bikes.
Close enough.
I mean, if you just look, it's just it has nothing to do with football. If you just pull up his headshot,
it's an observation.
Yeah.
That's all there's to it. Kansas State's and they're going down in flames right now. I think eventually they'll be fine, but right now they're having a bad time.
I want them to win. I want them to win now.
Yeah.
Like we need every Big 12 game they win is good for us. Not that we should be losing any.
I would like Iowa to continue to lose. I realize we want them to win because then it looks like we have a win over a good Big Ten team.
Yeah,
I would like them to continue to lose because I find their misery hilarious.
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna win.
I don't know what the path to victory is in any of these games. I mean, maybe Rutgers they play Rutgers and they're that freshman, that fat ass freshman running back, is it Xavier Williams? Maybe he goes for $125 and a couple tutties or something like that.
Well, just because the guy likes a couple cheeseburgers and plays running back, you got to hold that against him.
That guy, I mean,
wow,
yeah.
Have you seen Penn State's kicker? By the way, he's like 6'5", 320.
Yeah.
All right, now we got to pull this up. Okay.
So now you got to pull. Actually, did you see? I remember seeing. I think
I don't know his actual size, but I just watched the game. I was like, "Holy moly, that's a!"
You guys seen a picture of? I think it's Southeast Missouri's quarterback. Southeast Missouri's quarterback is 6'8".
Play this guy at fucking left tackle. My God,
pull up a picture of him.
I'm working on it. Chill out.
We got fucking Big Chungus back there popping field goals up there in State College.
This dude's a tank.
Built like 3 brick shit houses.
It might be. All right, share screen.
Let's see what you got. Matthias, technical director. Oh my God. Oh, he's a big boy.
No, I think the guy that does kickoffs is
holy fuck. That guy's a unit.
Which guy is it?
This football guy right here.
Oh my God. That's a football guy right there, is what that is. Look at that guy.
So we had a guy in West Bend. Shout out Northwest Iowa people if you understand who West Bend Mallard is. So this guy, they called him Bubba. And we're playing Rockwell City Linton for the first game of the season one time. And this dude was 320 pounds. He played offensive guard, defensive tackle, and he happened to be our kicker. And he would squib kick it every time. And he would be the first person down the field to make the tackle. First play of the season, compressed this dude's spine. That guy.
Oh, fuck.
And kid was done. Off on a stretcher, out of the game. And he was probably bigger than this fucking kid kicking for Penn State.
We do have the chat.
It reminded me of him.
The chat is trying to remind you to stuff your ass into that little plastic car.
Hey, shouldn't you lick my nuts, Tyler?
You even got an open air Jeep back there you can shove yourself in.
Dude, I would probably sit in that, but I would probably demolish that.
Would you
thing.
bend it?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're just not the little plastic toy cars just ain't built like they used to be.
They ain't nothing like it used to be. Nope.
It would be pretty funny if we did an entire episode with all of us parked inside one of them things. But
that's not going to happen for me.
We'll get you a bigger one.
I have a golf cart in the garage. I can just do it from the golf cart.
You need the absolute hilarity of
a bye week. We could just pull out all the toys back there.
We'll just
cut
the top off them all. We'll cut the top off of it, and then you can just attach it to your desk chair that you're sitting in. So it just kind of gives the illusion that you're in the thing.
Tyler, I'm telling you, that Jeep ain't gonna hold.
It will hold. All right. I want to talk about the discourse that Scott Docterman from The Athletic started, which is that he basically argued that Iowa State has passed Iowa in terms of just the standing of the program, basically.
Prove him wrong.
I mean, I think I made that point on this show fucking last year. I mean, just that Iowa State is right now the sexy program in the state, and the prognosis for the future of the program, 2 programs. Iowa State has the much rosier forecast.
That if you're a quarterback, a wide receiver, you ain't going to play at Iowa.
No.
And why would you want to? You would look at Iowa State or go out of state.
Right.
An offensive lineman, yeah, sure, whatever, do what you want.
Except for that Iowa State's getting ready to steal the #1 offensive lineman in the state for 2027.
Yeah, except for if you talk to Clanton, you're probably going to choose Iowa State.
Yeah, and
if you have any kind of brain. And you're going to look at his track record with guys that he's developed over 4 years, and you're going to be like, Do I want to be a first-round draft pick? I should maybe go play for this guy.
Then like defensive line, linebackers, corners, safeties, whatever. Like I don't think even Iowa State is like going after the same guys Iowa is for those positions anyway. So
No,
whatever.
not right now. For now, I mean, we'll see what happens when Phil Parker.
So I mean,
retires,
it all depends on what your style is in the state of Iowa. But like, if you're a guy that can play offense and you want to be high flying, catching the ball and all that stuff, you ain't going to fucking Iowa.
You're not going to fucking Iowa. It's not going to happen.
No. Big news though. Buddy did surpass 100 passing yards on the season.
He did eclipse 100 passing yards, which is a big milestone for an Iowa quarterback. We should give him a round of applause.
Did he have 100 in the game, or is he
had like 65? But
but he's got 100 on the year.
He's got 100 on the year.
I think he was below a he set the Big Ten record for the least passing yards in the first 2 games of the season. It was below a Northwestern quarterback.
Cade something.
Get him 100.
I mean, if you're below a Northwestern quarterback, that's the same thing anyway. So
you fucked up.
Oh, you want to hear? The stat line it's pretty.
What you got?
21 for 39, 127 yards. That's 53.8% completion. An average of 3.3 yards per completion. A long of 22. One touchdown,
the whole
1 interception, and 4 sacks.
It's not even that's not even one game. That's not a half.
That's on the season. Yeah,
that is on the season.
So if we take this is gonna hurt Iowa bad. So they're paying that guy $2 million.
$2 million,
right? He's currently averaging $15,750 per passing yard. That's pretty good.
Good value. Good value.
They're paying $15,750 per passing yard.
Good for them. It'd be funny. Like the funny part is that is actually a tiny bit of an upgrade from their last quarterback. They way the fuck overpaid.
Kyle Conradi had more kicking yards in the 3 field goals that he had than Mark Gronkowski had.
He almost had more kicking yards on the 1 field goal than he had in that game. Than he had passing yards in that game. I remember it was the so they started out the first drive. I want to say they got 9 yards on the first drive. The second drive, they got a first down and then went backwards enough to lose total yards on the game. So Iowa managed to lose total offense on the game while getting a first down on the second drive.
Yeah, I had a couple buddies over, and I was like, "Hey guys, gotta watch." Like, I was joking. It was start of the game, and the Iowa punt unit trots onto the field, and I was like, "Watch out, guys! This is their best offensive play. This is where you can get beat." And then the whole like muff thing happens, and I was like, "See, I told you, it's their best offensive play."
That's the whole game plan, right?
They would have never made it that far.
I did laugh. Their first punt, the guy like fucking just shanked it.
His first 2 punts. He shanked his first 2 punts. It was fucking crazy. I've never seen that from an Iowa punter.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, their best play is not even working, so we're good. We're gonna win." And then their best play did work.
Yeah, the best play did work. Yeah. I tell you what, though, one thing I didn't have on my bingo card was Iowa running some slow mesh bullshit on that long 9-minute drive.
Yeah, if that, which thankfully, you just watch our backers and their safeties.
They stayed home.
They were not like, they're like, why? Like, don't even try
this shit. What are we doing? Because so for anybody that's not aware of what like slow mesh is, I believe it started at Wake Forest. And basically it's a read option RPO. It's an RPO offense. Mm-hmm. But they slow down the interaction between the quarterback and the running back where it takes like 3 seconds.
And you're just holding everybody.
Yeah, basically, the offensive line basically just stands there, just keeping somebody out. They just stand there. And the quarterback and running back basically just stand there right next to each other, both holding the ball for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then the quarterback can do what he wants with it. Basically the entire point is to slow down the interaction, the RPO, slow down the RPO action. So that way it makes it easier for a quarterback to read the defense, gives receivers a chance to get open, all this. It has worked to great effect at Wake Forest, and it works really good when you have very good skill players that can get open. Iowa does not have that. They do not have there isn't a good receiver in that entire zip code, and they have a quarterback that is wonky at best.
At first I was like, this might work. And then it was like, I was watching, then like the next time I watched our defense, and then they didn't even move, and I'm like, okay, that's not going to work.
That's not going anywhere. I think the first one they ran, I think Gronowski pulled it and got like a 6-yard scramble out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the linebackers did what they needed to do, which, I mean, credit to them, because the way you defend slow mesh is by basically just staying home and not reacting either direction, because then the quarterback doesn't know what the fuck to do. The linebackers and safeties did that without knowing. I mean, there's no way they could have possibly known that was coming. That was not on tape. I was never run it, and they did a good job reacting to it. They tried it one more time, and then they gave it up.
Yeah, and they play UMass this week, huh?
Yeah.
They're in trouble. Maybe not against UMass and Rutgers, but
UMass is really fucking bad.
yeah, I know. And
They're
Rutgers historically as well, but
yeah.
I mean
Rutgers
honestly,
at
their
least,
schedule's
like,
not that bad, other
team,
than Penn
but
State. Like, I don't know.
yeah, whatever. I know. To me, the thesis that you take away from I think the thesis you take away from Saturday is that Iowa State added another thing to their checklist of ways they can win a football game. The first game they won it just running the ball. They won it with the run game. South Dakota, they won it with the won it with the passing game. And then the backups. And then Iowa, they won ugly. They won defensively. They won ugly. They won for all intents and purposes, they won the turnover battle, because the one turnover they got was more significant than the one Iowa got. And frankly, finishing even with Iowa in the turnover battle is kind of like winning it, basically. So
they got gifted theirs.
They were gifted theirs via some bullshit.
I mean, we were gifted ours also just via a really bad.
But Jeremiah Cooper jumped it, and actually,
bro, that was terrible. That throw was horrible.
It was a bad throw, but it was a bad throw. But Jeremiah Cooper did a good job of being.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good defense, but like,
one thing
that was going to be.
Jeremiah Cooper should have housed that bitch. He should not have gone out of bounds.
Yeah, but
that was going to be picked either way, and then what allowed him to even return it in the first place was Weegent slipped a little bit.
Fell down, yeah.
So it was going to get picked either way.
It should not have been thrown.
No. I also was curious what you guys' thoughts were. The last two drives really, but especially the last drive, we saw Chase Soule in there, and they threw him the ball. They got him good targets. And actually, specifically on the last drive, I was really impressed with the one they threw him. He caught, I want to say it was on a hitch route, and he caught it about 5 yards downfield, and was met immediately by the defender, and there was a really short kind of stalemate. And then Chase Soule put his foot down and pushed the defender back like 3 or 4 yards to get to like an 8 or 9 yard gain instead of a 4 or 5 yard gain. And like that was, I don't know, that little burst there of strength was really impressive to me. In like their willingness to rely on him, like in clutch moments like that. I think that tells me that they're getting ready to turn him loose.
They are.
Yeah. That and another with guys I kind of took notice of. We've kind of put like Abu Sama in this box of he's got to have a foot in the ground and get vertical, and like if there's a hole, he could be gone. And we've kind of made Hansen like this guy's going to be he'll get your yards. He's power runner, all that, runs hard. Abu Sama was kind of creating stuff for himself a little bit. I haven't seen that much out of him in the past, but like he was making multiple cuts and like running the ball hard instead of just like a 1 foot in the ground, get vertical.
He doesn't have like big rushing yardage total up to this point, but I think he's had a very good season to start.
Yeah, I think the whole statistical categories are going to be a little bit misleading for the first 3 games, because obviously you had kind of an explosion against South Dakota, but then you played your 2 toughest defenses you're going to play all year in the first 3 games of the year.
Yeah,
and also Rocco didn't look that great, and I mean, I think he knows that, and it's about like getting out of the game with the win. I know, like talking about I'm not happy. Campbell's probably not that enthused with it, but like
He missed a few throws.
Yeah, I just mean
Well,
like
and two
if you
guys
look at
dropped
the
the
if you
ball,
look
too.
at the box score, like if you're a box score watcher, you're like, oh well, Rocco's like not that much better than this Mark.
Oh, but I mean,
Gronowski.
if you watch the game, there's a pretty clear difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Rocco made there was a couple throws he missed that I think he would have liked to have back.
There's a couple drops. Yeah, there was a couple.
But there were some drops, and
think
then, but once again on that game-winning drive, he was nails the whole way fucking down. And that's been Rocco to this point. Is do what you got to do to stay in the game for the most of it, and then just nail that shit closed in the fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, it's kind of easy to like, not easy, but it's not that hard to be confident in a game-winning drive when you have a what did you call his hog?
Preposterous.
I call it. Yeah, I call it. He has a preposterous hog.
Yeah, when you have a preposterous hog on the sideline, because like like all I got to do is cross the 50-yard line and we're in range. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot less pressure than like in the past. We've been like, we've got to be in the red zone if we want to kick a field goal.
Right.
Like we've been there. I've been on teams where we were like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's a couple things that I think will get better as the season goes on. Just real quick, points per game, we're at 20, which really isn't that far off from a year ago. I think we were at 24 a year ago, which when you
That
play
feels
Iowa,
low. Because especially like the last half of the
24
season,
or 27. Don't quote me on that. Somebody wants to look it up. I don't care. Go for it. 24 or 27. I don't remember. Yards per game, we're at 275. That's 107th in the country. That's going to go up.
Yeah.
Yards per play, we're at 4.1 yards per play. That's 106 in the country. That's going to go up. Yards per rush, we're at 3.1, which is 100th in the country. That's going to go up. There was one more that I noticed that I think will, so if like we've said before, like if you're watching the stats and watching the box scores and you're like, well, this isn't really that great. Like you got to take into account that you've played Kansas State and Iowa in 3 of your 2 games. So
and South Dakota sold out to stop the run.
Yeah. So I mean,
because I think yards per carry is the one I think will go.
You're gonna see that skyrocket this weekend, especially when you.
Oh my god!
Let's just go through Arkansas State here really quick, just for funsies.
I watched them play a full game last weekend, by the way. So
you watched you watched Arkansas run for 3 bills on them.
Yeah, because everyone's an Arkansas fan, so we had to watch it. But
they are giving up a whopping 11.1 yards per rush.
Okay, so this is kind of inflated a little bit because they busted like a couple 75-yarders on them. Like
that still counts.
But they've only played 2 games, right? Like everyone else. So and then when you come and you play Arkansas and they bust like 3 for like 70 yards or whatever, like that's
321 yards rushing per game.
I think their quarterback had like 120 yards rushing.
10.7.
Jalen Raynor is a good little mobile quarterback.
No, Arkansas.
Taylor Green.
Yeah. He looks really good when he's not throwing the football.
Yeah.
10.7.
He's a good athlete.
He threw 2 interceptions against them.
Woof.
10.7 yards per pass. So you run, you throw it, you're going to get 10 yards a clip. 300 yards per, rushing and passing per game. They have not sacked the quarterback yet this season. So do with that information as you will, but this is one of those games where, you go down with the right mindset. You're going to have some things to work with that you can iron out in this game and, have your way with Arkansas State if you can beat the heat.
This feels like a game where Hansen and Sama combined for like 45 or 50 carries.
You have to get up, you have to get up and play. It's not the opponent, it's yourself. You have to.
It's like a 2:30 kick, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 3 o'clock. But like, I've been, in those games against Kansas where it's 11 a.m. and there's 62 people in the stands, and
you got to psych yourself up for it.
You have to bring your own juice, and that's the obstacle you're facing this week, not necessarily an opponent that you're worried about. I mean, obviously you got to do your weekly stuff and take care of that.
Kind of similar to Houston last year.
Yeah, like you have to figure out a way to bring your own juice to the party.
Well, hopefully Speaking of bring your own juice to the party, hopefully Iowa State brought their own food this time instead of relying on the local food to not be fucking poisoned. And so we don't lose at fucking Ohio again.
Shout out Athens, Ohio.
Shout out Athens, Ohio.
Wait, no, somebody else just lost their.
West Virginia.
West Virginia lost their last week. Yeah.
And it was a crazy stat I had seen. Ohio is 3-0 against West Virginia at home. Like, just stop going there. Just quit going there.
Yeah. And granted, West Virginia is going to be pretty bad this year. Or they're probably not going to be very good. Whereas the team that we the Iowa State team that lost to Ohio in 2023, one, their quarterback was very good, and he was one that transferred to Indiana and took them to the playoff last year. But then we were also we were like a 7-5 team. We were like great, but we were good enough. Yeah, but I mean, this is a game this weekend. You take care of it. You just go up, you take care of business. You go home with like a 3-score win, get to a bye week. Which I think Iowa State needs a bye week right now. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get into it though, because like kind of like how you're going over the season stats so far. We haven't really I feel like I mean, you're not supposed to reach your full potential this early, but I feel like we really haven't seen anything close to that yet, where like I feel really good about all 4 quarters. Like you could say South Dakota, but like
really, yeah, was it?
Yeah. So
yeah, I think it has to do with a lot with the Kansas State and Iowa situation. I mean, they're playing, like we've said, they played down to Iowa. They did. But then, the Kansas State was, I mean,
sloppy. First half
it was
very
sloppy, and you're overseas and a lot of weird shit. But I still feel like maybe they left a lot of stuff out in that one too. So I mean, we haven't seen it fully yet, which is, I mean, that's either a very good thing or maybe that this is what they are, but I don't think this is what they are. So
yeah, I mean, we could be in worse spots. We could be the Florida Gators. We could be the Kansas State Wildcats. We could be a lot of things.
You would much rather be 3-0, having beat your 2 biggest rivals on the season and still having things to work on with 2 bye weeks coming up yet still in the season.
Right.
That's a good spot.
Shout
to
out
be
Golish though. Shout out Golish.
Shout out Alex Golish, because my guess is that if Billy Napier gets fired, he's probably going to be one of the first calls Florida makes, I would imagine.
Or he comes to Arkansas.
Or he goes to Arkansas.
His wife's family lives in Fort Smith. So
there you go.
About 45 minutes from campus.
I think Alex Golish at Arkansas would be pretty fun. I think that would be a fun matchup there.
I'd probably go volunteer. Be cool.
Hell yeah. One thing I want to see, one thing we did see, not a lot of, because there just wasn't any explosive plays last weekend, but we did get a few decent runs out of the runs pretty much either went for like 2 yards or like 10. Early in the game, Carson Hansen punched through for a couple like 10-yard gains that were early on. Abu Sama had like an 18 or 19-yard run in there. It feels to me like Abu Sama is getting ready. Like one of these games, he's going to bust one off. Like he's going to bust off a 75-yarder type of thing.
Tim Brando's going to spontaneously combust somewhere.
Yeah. Tim Brando's going to be like, "How do you do?" from his basement or something.
Yeah, he's not even going to be anywhere near. He's going to feel a disturbance in the force.
He's going to just record that specifically.
One thing that did happen though was the national coverage was great. Like,
yeah,
fantastic. You've seen like all over everywhere. Like, there's people that have never, the words Iowa State Cyclones have never come out of their mouth before. They're like, "Oh, that game was awesome. The atmosphere was awesome. That's what college football is all about." Like, you see that everywhere this week, right? And that's like honestly huge. Like more than
I mean, like everybody, like all the national people that I heard from, like Klatt was talking about, the Barstool people were talking about like how much, how awesome the whole thing was.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, College Game Day is a lot bigger just because it's been around forever, and Big Noon is just now, hasn't been around as long. But they did a very good job of not, they did a very good job of profiling Iowa State during that. Actually, bringing on Iowa State people to be guests. They incorporate a lot of tailgating stuff. They had the fire truck that brings the team in on the buses. Portnoy was very complimentary of Iowa State. Even, he did pull out his Caitlin Clark jersey during the Barstool show, but you could see that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing he did. The worst thing he did was eat a super dog in daylight.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had a sober super dog before.
Sober in the daylight is
still
crazy.
Good. No, they're still good.
Crazy.
They're still good.
I was worried when I saw that video pop up on Twitter.
Dude, I was like, he's gonna fucking roast
I was like,
this thing so bad.
No. But then he was like, it's just maybe a little too much mustard. That was it.
Yeah, he's like a little much mustard, but honestly, like good drunk food. And I was like, yeah, there you go.
He gets it.
I thought he was pretty lenient on the Jeff's Pizza review.
I mean,
I think he was because he had a nice conversation with the owner.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he basically says,
because I've seen him. I know. Yeah, but like good drunk pizza is not a 6.4 or whatever he said. Because I've seen him rate like pretty good looking pizzas in the 6s.
He's a pretty tough critic on pizza.
Yeah, like if you're in the 7s, that's good.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a really good.
That's why I'm saying the score in the 6s.
He gave like a 7.2 or something like that, didn't he?
No, it was like a 6.3 or something like that. But like, I think that's.
No, it was the super dog. It was a super dog. The super dog that got like a 7.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love super dogs. They're great.
When I saw the video of him popping out of Jeff, I was like,
I assumed he was going to.
As soon as I saw the thumbnail, I was like, oh no, we're going to get all this publicity, and here it all goes down the drain.
Yeah, I was like, I'm waiting for like the 3.2 or some bullshit. But I was like, all right, sweet.
It's not. People don't say like, oh, Jeff's is the best pizza place in Ames. Like nobody says that.
I got a little bit of. I mean, I think this goes with the Twitter personalities that people have and stuff like that. Like when they get stuck on something, they don't change their views, and for whatever it is. And Dave Portnoy is a polarizing figure, whether you love him or hate him. But like, us as Iowa State fans and people, like every time like something negative, like, oh, why don't you talk about Iowa State? Or when Iowa State does this, why don't you talk about Iowa State more? But then we bring in people who just sit there and talk about Iowa State for 2 days straight, and Dave Portnoy is one of those people. And then I keep seeing people on Twitter, and they're like, I don't give a shit. This guy sucks. He was part of sexual harassment cases, all this, whatever. Like, take the good publicity when you can and run with it. Like, shut the fuck up and enjoy.
You don't have to like Dave Portnoy to still like appreciate like Barstool bringing their entire crew here for their show.
Like you had like Portnoy and Big Cat have a fuck ton of followers on every platform they touch. Yeah. And here we got people that are mad that we're having all these eyes on Iowa State. It's like, if you don't like them, don't pay attention to it. And you don't have to share every fucking view on the internet as I'm doing the same thing. So just shut up and enjoy life.
Brandon Walker was there, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was eating that shit up.
I like Brandon Walker.
He likes Iowa State.
I like Brandon. The stuff that I've seen from him, I like Brandon Walker.
I mean, you got Brandon Walker doing cyclone power chants for an hour straight, and then you start instantly off with Mark Ingram.
Looking
like he's gonna murder somebody in a pair of coveralls. And
Mark Ingram wearing the cyclone overalls is awesome.
Like, Mark's good dude.
That shit's.
We spent a lot of time in spent a lot of time in the New Orleans Saints training room together.
Yeah.
It was
he seems pretty cool.
In the mornings, because Jameis tore his ACL too, so it was like Jameis, me, and Mark warming up on the bikes, and man, the conversations.
That's got to be to be crazy. A fly on the wall for that conversation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, overall though, I mean, like the Big Noon Kickoff, I think they did an awesome job. It seemed like I will say, related to what you were saying about how they actually like brought on like Iowa State people and stuff like that. It does help that this time around versus when game day was here in 2021, we have like an actual superstar that they can bring on. We didn't really, I mean, if you really think about it in 2021, like who are they going to bring on beside, George Niang,
but they even brought on like,
Dylan.
They brought on, They brought on TJ Otzelberger and Taman Lipsy. Now they didn't say anything, but they're still there. They're on camera. Like shit.
But it's like, well, back then the basketball team was in the middle of being fucking shitty.
Yeah.
The basketball team was shitty. We had like the most famous NFL player we had at the time would have been
AJ Klein.
Like, all I'm saying is,
was like a backup linebacker someplace.
You figure it out. The easy cop out was to bring on Ashton Kutcher and fucking whatever that fucking guy that thinks he's a rock star.
I don't want to absolve ESPN of one of the worst like celebrity picks they could have made in that situation in Ashton Kutcher, but it didn't help the cause that we just didn't really have anybody that mattered at that point.
We've got the dude from Yellowstone. Bring him.
Who?
The
You watch
actor from
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, the skinny guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. David Montgomery. David Montgomery
Jimmy.
was probably the best known
Yes,
NFL
Jimmy.
player at the time.
Jimmy is an Iowa State dude.
Jimmy from Yellowstone.
I've never seen that.
Oh, well.
They could have gone live from Chris. What's his fuck kid from Arlington, the old bachelor guy. Go live from prison.
Oh, the guy that like drunk hit somebody on a tractor or whatever.
Chris Soules, right? Something like that.
Is he just from Iowa, or did he go to college in Iowa?
He went to Iowa State.
He did.
Oh, he did.
Well, I don't think he graduated. I think he was here for like 2 years or something.
He drunk hit the dude on the tractor after
Yeah.
the show. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was like just farming back home in Arlington.
I remember that.
He said, "Okay, guys, did you guys cover the ANF podcast review before the game? They found McDonough wasn't a high end pass rusher." I do want to say something about ANF though.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of people thought that. Right.
Nobody.
Right. I was
saying
saying
that.
We talked about him in the offseason. It's like, oh, this guy could be a guy that steps up. But like to be fair, up to that point, we had seen.
I mean, what he
him.
have at Yale last year for sacks? He wasn't even
Like
maybe
6.5,
over
I
7.
think.
Yeah, it
Like
wasn't even
6.5.
7. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, he wasn't like an elite pass rusher at Yale, and we hadn't seen anything from him up to that point in the season. I actually do want to say I watched ANF's preview of the game last week, and I watched their recap this week. Those guys actually do a pretty good job.
yeah, it sounded like they did it okay. I didn't get a
ANF
chance.
guys, I will credit, do a pretty good job of like analyzing film and being as objective as they can be. So I will say that of the Iowa podcast, that's probably the one that I would be like, if you want like a half decent, like measured analysis of Iowa football, I would send you to the ANF podcast. But we should start. That's what we do. We start our own. We call it. We do our own ANAL podcast.
I mean, that's good. I guess I haven't watched it, but I mean, I know the one. There's a few of them, but there's one that pops up on my feed all the time for Arkansas, and those guys are so like they drank the Kool-Aid, man, and they
yeah.
Well, I know of a certain
I just
Iowa
feel like-
podcast that does that, but I won't say it will remain nameless because Levi knows my beef with him.
My old buddy Corey Breda.
I won't say his name. Levi's like, damn, Corey.
Fuck him.
It's from Hawkeye Storm. No. Yeah, fuck you, Matthias. We're calling it out. No, I don't even know where I was going. I was going to make a point that I completely fucking lost it right there in the middle of that.
Yeah, because you just fucking trashed that dude right when I was trying not to.
It's okay.
I mean,
dude.
I've done enough of them. I know you're not a
fights.
Corey Breda fan. I don't like listen to a lot of the stuff when we're not playing them. But when the conversations I've had with him have generally been good. But
Not the first ever one you did. That was
the first one was tricky because he didn't know like how to debate with me.
I didn't really want to fight anybody live on the podcast once. When I was watching, I was like, they're fucking trying to fucking throw Levi into a hole. And I'm like, get me on there. I want to fucking beat him.
I think of most podcasts, we'd probably win bar fight.
Oh, yeah. This one of 3-person podcasts, we would have a real good shot in a bar fight, I think. Yeah.
If there was a March Madness bar fight of podcasts, yeah, we'd make it deep.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. Actually, did I tell you one time? I probably there would have been no reason this came up when I went on a vacation to Thailand in 2017. I went to the Phi Islands.
That was not where I thought that was going.
Yeah, I went to the Phi Islands, and this bar I went to on the islands has a kickboxing ring there that you can just fight people in at night.
You told me this story, but
I did. I got into a kickboxing match about 1 a.m. at a bar in Thailand. It was at least a draw, if not, I won by a little bit.
Levi's like the fucking Michael Vick of Thailand bars. Fucking
What?
yep.
Explain that. Explain yourself.
Illegal fighting.
Illegal.
Probably not illegal in
It's not
Thailand.
illegal if it's consensual in a boxing ring.
Could you imagine boxing in the middle of a bar
And
in the United States?
I guess I can't prove this, but I'm pretty sure nobody was betting on it. But you know,
Sounds like something we could start.
backyard boxing gambling rings.
Hell to the yeah.
Shout out OG YouTube and watching Kimbo Slice just wreck people in his backyard.
Does Kurt get fired if they're below? Like, how bad do they have to be?
I don't think they're gonna ever fire him.
Though they're never going to fire him, but I think if Iowa goes 5-7 this season and it's miserable,
he's gonna retire.
He could quit. Yeah, he could retire.
Because like there has to come a point where you cycle through so many guys where you realize it's
not working.
It's not a quarterback problem. It's not a player problem. Like eventually
they have no receivers, but it goes deeper than that.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you have to be like, okay, we've had 10 different quarterbacks. We've had 5 different offensive coordinators. We've had all this stuff change, and the program doesn't change. Like eventually you have to.
I mean, if your offense looks exactly the same with Cade McNamara as it does with Mark Karnowski, it's not a quarterback problem. The common denominator is not the fucking quarterback. It's
not the same with those two. The same with the Petrus kid. The same with. It's been the same for
Nate Stanley. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been the same for like almost 10 years now.
Probably. I would say the last time it looked competent was when CJ Beathard was there. The 1 year was it 2014, I think.
Yeah. So like.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I gotta find this. What are
you looking for?
The Hassel clip where he just freaks out after he's like, "What is going on?"
That was a good clip. That was a good clip.
Instant Iowa after the game was some of the most entertaining video content I've ever watched.
Shout out to Hassel, friend of the program. He's been on here once.
Hassel's been on the nightcap, and he was great.
Yeah, but I still want to share it once I get this downloaded.
Oh yeah,
because it just brought me joy.
Let me see
if I can find it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it was kind of a crazy reaction to me because I think that they were very lucky to be in a situation where we had to make that field goal to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, it shouldn't have even, frankly, it should have been a 13-3 game at that point. Maybe higher if you just say that Iowa State would have scored instead of Iowa getting the field goal on those other spots. Yeah. Cade McNamara threw for more passing yards versus Tennessee at East Tennessee than Mark did. Oh, because Cade McNamara plays for East Tennessee State, I think is what it is. He passed for more last week than versus Tennessee than Mark did versus ISU.
All right, I got it uploading, so whenever it's ready, I'll just flip her in there. Oh, hey,
we're
ready.
Guns are ready to go, yeah.
Well,
those 3 dudes are in fucking
It
hell.
happened again.
Yes,
Another 54-yarder. What is going on?
It was so funny to watch that whole thing because those 2 dudes were sitting in Sweet Carolines and Ames.
Yep.
At post game, and everybody there was cheering, singing Sweet Caroline and all that. Those guys were in hell for like an hour. It was high comedy. It was the most engaging post game content I think I've ever watched in my life.
They are obviously disappointed with them Iowa losing, but also like they knew what they were doing, like being in that moment. Like,
it's funny because I look at Hassel and Downs a little bit differently because Downs is an unrepentant homer, like never gives like Iowa State credit for anything. It's always Iowa losing the game, never Iowa State winning the game, and all this or whatever. Where Hassel, I feel like I perceive Hassel to be more of a measured Iowa fan. That usually
and he is, but he also plays the part of the homer, but just because he almost has to for the persona.
He wants to kind of let it, but like when you're talking about like analyzing Iowa football, like he does a pretty good job in basketball, but like Iowa sports, he does a pretty good job of being as objective as you could probably expect anyone to be. Whereas Downs is like just the true unrepentant homer, basically. So watching like Downs sit there in his misery is pretty funny.
What is going on?
I mean, I don't know how people do that. Like if we were absolutely terrible and we were playing an undefeated OU or whoever, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough. Like, can we do it? There is a way, but like it's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how people
I
don't understand how people can just like be so blinded by the fandom that they're like, oh, we're like so good.
Well, the thing is too is like listening to some of the Iowa podcasts this week, when they're like kind of recapping the game. Most of them are still like, oh, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna figure out Mark Karnowski who's a good quarterback. And I was like, dude, you're missing the point. Gronowski's not the problem. He seems to be like competent. You have no fucking receivers, and your offensive system is newer than it was, but still pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And then I remember someone trying to make the point. I couldn't tell you which one it was, but one of them tried to make the point that they thought the offense was too complicated. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, fucking Andy Reid out there, boys and girls.
I was like, I mean, your offense might be too complicated for like a junior high team, but like, I mean, I'd say, listen, I know you guys are new to this like offense thing. I know you guys are new to this, but I promise you that you're still running a system that would be out of date 10 years ago.
Do they think they got Sean McVay concepts out there? Or like,
like that, I was like, that's a crazy take. I don't know. Their offense is going to be shit all year. It's going to be bad.
It's literally hand the ball off, run play action, maybe make 2 reads, throw the ball.
It's 2 runs with the running back, 1 run with Gronowski. See what you need to do on 4th down, and that's the whole offense.
Yikes! I guess maybe the most complicated thing of their offense was the slow mesh,
which didn't do anything.
Like, do I pull it? Do I throw it? Do I pull it or do I throw it?
You could just watch Mark Gronowski having a stroke in real time, trying to process all
Fuck! Linebacker didn't move. Now
there's one player that you watch. People think that is like the hard part of playing quarterback. It's really not. By then, you've already got it all figured out. You're just looking at one guy. It's not
right. Yeah.
Oh, linebacker.
Yeah. On the RPOs, you're reading one dude, and then
like the other pre-snap stuff is way more challenging than figuring out if you hand the ball off or throw the RPO.
Right.
I was watching the unfortunate circumstances of Monday Night Football for the Bears and the Vikings, but Brian Flores for the Vikings, he moves his defenses around a lot. And I was just thinking, like, what if I was in this position? But he brought the safeties up, and then he moved the linebackers back. Yeah. And then he flipped it back around again, all within a matter of like 15 seconds. Like, if I'm standing back there at the ball and I'm seeing this shit fucking happening, I'm
Time
like,
out.
What the fuck was that?
There was one that they did to JJ McCarthy too. I think the Mannings said it on their show. Like,
oh, Dennis Allen on the Bears. So
I was watching.
Like, we've never fucking seen that.
And I played for Dennis Allen, but like, I was watching and I was like, okay. And then he like kind of like extends the play and gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. And I was like, honestly, that was like really confusing because they had everybody walked up. They mugged up everything. Everybody was like man over. It looked like it was man. And then everybody just bails out into zone coverage, which for a rookie, he's not a rookie, but technically a rookie. Like, that's hard. And then I saw the clip like the next day, the Manning brothers were saying the same thing on the clip. They were like, fooled me. So,
they're like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't watch much Saints with Dennis Allen and things like that. I mean, only like when they really played the Bears or whatever. But like the stuff he was doing Monday, like he was bringing all the linebackers up, and there was like one fucking safety and like 30 yards of nothing in between pre-snap. And I'm like, it was like giving me fucking anxiety. I'm like, what? No,
I forgot
stop.
to tell you that I actually have a bone to pick with the Bears.
What's that? I join the fucking club.
I was gonna say, you only have one bone to pick.
Get listen, the fucking line.
I'm winning. No, listen to this. I'm winning my fantasy football by a good amount.
Okay.
Odunze is on the opposing team.
Uh-huh.
Game's almost over. There's 2 minutes left. 1:50. Caleb Williams gets called short of the goal line when he ran it in.
Mm-hmm. And
they lined up, and there was a penalty, and they were on the half-yard line, not even the inch line. I'm like, oh, they're just going to run it in, whatever. They throw a pass from the 2-inch line to Odunze for a touchdown. Okay, I'm cool, right? I'm still up by 1.2 points. He has Aaron Jones as well, but they bring out Jordan Mason. The Vikings bring out Jordan Mason to run the clock instead of Aaron Jones. So I'm good. 1.2 points. The Bears get the ball back. And their first play, they screw it up. Was it DJ Moore runs into the snap?
Yeah, ran into the snap.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not over yet. Well, then we're in prevent defense for the Vikings. And who do they throw the ball to do the backyard bullshit? They throw it to Odunze, and he gets 5 yards and a catch, 1.5 points, and I lose by 0.3. Because even though he pitched the ball, he still gets the 5 yards in the catch.
Right.
Ouch. Yuck.
It was in the it was disgusting. It was
when
gross.
when they pick six McCarthy, I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna hold. And I've seen this story unfold a million times. I'm like, it's gonna happen. And
Caleb Williams didn't look that good, to be honest.
Yeah, rushing the footwork, rushing the throws, was just firing in the space.
I only got to watch the first half, but through the first half, he looked all right.
Yeah, he was fine. But then Brian Flores ramped up the pressure, and then the offensive line wasn't holding up, and it just went south. So it is what it is.
All right, back on track. Do we have Arkansas State? Anything else? We kind of spent most of the time on Iowa.
So they don't play
Rayner's good.
They don't play licky defense, but Jalen Rayner's a good quarterback.
He's been there forever. I'm surprised he hasn't gone somewhere else.
Arkansas State plays offense like a 9-year-old plays Madden. They basically go 4 verts or just run around with the quarterback all over the place, and then they once in a while they run the thing because they accidentally pressed A on the Ask Madden play call sheet.
I used to do that with Shieldhouse actually.
Yeah.
And NCAA 14, I would just run 4 verts and I would take Shieldhouse and just
sprint,
take off running.
Yep. That's basically what Arkansas State does. If you can bottle up their run game, they're going to be fine. But, because Jalen Rayner will throw you a pick or two.
Yep.
It's pretty much if you hold Arkansas State to less than 20 points, you're going to win by 3 touchdowns probably. Just go take care of business.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. The only issue
make sure you're hydrating now.
Yeah.
The only issue is going to Jonesboro. Like that's kind of
it's rough, but
I'm guessing it's a Butch Jones, like he Ohio guy, right? So I think maybe there's something there between him and Campbell to give them a home and home, because like otherwise, like no, you come play us in Ames, but like.
Well, they did last year, and then Jamie Pollard explained it on the radio the other day that the math works out basically that we don't have to pay them to come to Ames, so then we don't have to pay them to come to Ames, so that we that's why we go there. Yeah. And essentially, the math shakes out that in the long run, it saves us $4 million by going to Jonesboro.
Oh, so this is more than just a home and home. We played them
at home last year.
I'm saying, is there more games on this contract?
No.
Just this one.
This is the second one. Then the next 2 are Bowling Green. We get Bowling Green at home. Then we're at Bowling Green. And then
Tulane.
And it's Tulane.
Why are we going to these places, man?
Tulane's good.
I'm just saying, like, you're just setting yourself up when you agree to go to these places.
Bowling Green is also pretty shitty. Like, we should, unless something changes there, we're gonna demolish Bowling Green. But
they got Eddie George
to not
now.
Play at Bowling Green, but this weekend Oklahoma's playing at Temple, so it's kind of
they might be okay this year.
Temple,
all right. Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, John Mateer seems pretty good. We'll see. I don't know. I'd like to get a few more good, like really, really good games out of Rocco. Get a few moments to keep his name floating up there with the Heisman stuff.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
Definitely. Last week hinders him a little bit because
usually
in a Heisman campaign you don't have a game like that. But
yes and no, because he missed a few throws, but everybody saw him lead him down the field in the last drive.
Yeah, I'm not saying like bad play or anything. I'm saying just from sheer box score, like typically your Heisman campaign doesn't have a game like that where it kind of falls off.
True, but I think it being on national TV and it getting a lot of eyeballs, like a lot of people watch that game. A lot of the important people that are going to be like voting on that stuff will have seen him play that game and realize that his performance far exceeded his box score.
Yeah.
Ideally. But we also just found out that, not just found out, but we got real hard evidence that the AP voters don't fucking watch the game. So
that lady, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. She was like, I don't want to explain my process. And it's like, you don't want to
have
explain
a process.
You have no process. There's no process to explain. And the worst part is that there's no way, like, there are definitely more AP voters that do exactly the same thing she did. She just got called out for it.
Well, the AP poll doesn't really matter. It's when the college football poll comes out.
The problem is that like the AP poll still gets used.
Rex is just finding out that Florida lost.
Yeah, Florida lost to Alex Golesh.
Alex Golesh and the South Florida Bulls.
South Florida is 2-0, and they beat ranked Boise, and then they just went to Florida.
They're my second favorite.
They just beat Florida Swamp. Like,
Yeah, they have the best. They're the only team in the country that has 2 top 25 wins right now.
yeah, they have the best 2-0 record in
They're and they play Miami this week. Like, what a schedule, huh? Boise, Florida,
and they
Miami.
might beat Miami.
They're going to be in the playoff. They're going to be the group of five.
They'll be the American representative. Yeah. Right now they're on pace to do it.
Well, I'm just trying to think of another like group of 5 that would like get the spot, and I can't think of anybody.
Another G6. You could look at
Tulane.
Tulane would be one of them for sure.
They're not ranked now, but they could be if they just run the table, and then they got to beat SMU. Wait, no, they don't play SMU, do?
No. I think App State might be decent this year.
I don't know.
Out of the Sun Belt.
If South Florida loses to Miami and then runs the table, they're in.
Oh, easy, yeah. Someone posited today that the American could get 2 teams in. And I was like, let's pump the brakes here. Oh yeah,
Well,
Navy would be theoretically a dark horse there.
Navy would be kind of fun in the playoff.
Navy in the playoff would be super fun.
I don't know. Mississippi State, Arizona State was kind of rough for the Big 12.
Arizona State has taken the regression, is experiencing the regression that I believe we on this podcast predicted that that Sam Leavitt, one, when people had when they had tape on him, would be able to slow him down, and 2, when you don't have Cam Scattaboo, offense is harder.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we predicted that on this. I predicted it on Down the Pipe. Like this regression from Arizona State was very predictable.
Yeah,
I mean, they came back and had the game won, and then they gave up a bomb on. I don't know if you watched, but they took the lead, and then they gave up like a 70-yard bomb on 3rd and 8 with like 40 seconds left.
Right. All righty, we want to finish up our analysis here.
Yeah, I mean, if we can handle getting to Jonesboro and the bus ride from Memphis to Jonesboro and all that craziness that comes with that, it should be a lot to a little. But
I'm going 41-7.
I mean, it shouldn't be new. What we beat them by last year? That was a lot.
A lot. I'm going to go 52-17.
Yeah, 55-10 or something like that. Oh, we already scored 55 once this year. We're probably going to do it again.
All right, 54 it is.
58.
The problem is the math to get to 58 is really weird.
Yeah. We had 55. You just had 3.
That's true. Actually, it's just 7 touchdowns and 3 field goals. It's not that weird, but
yeah. I don't know. 70 burger would be sweet, but I love seeing 70 on the
We have not
scoreboard.
seen a 70 burger since the UL Monroe game.
That was crazy.
Back in the day. It's a shame.
We have like 3 pick sixes, I feel like, but
it's
I think
a shame.
we only had 1.
I think if I remember correctly, I think Brock Purdy finished only like 4 yards short of the total offense record that game.
That game was insane.
Or he either I think he set the total offense record and was just short of the passing record, or he set the passing record and was just short of the total offense record. It was one of the two.
I think we had 3 non-offensive touchdowns.
I think that's right. Real Mitchell had a rushing touchdown.
No, I'm saying like we had a pick 6.
There was a punt return that game, I think.
I think there was a return of some sort.
I think Trevor Ryan had a punt return that game.
There might have been 2 pick sixes. I don't know. We scored a lot not on offense. I know that very fast because it was like the first quarter and we were up like 28-0 or something.
Yeah. The Warhawks of UL Monroe.
Shout out UL Monroe.
Yeah. All righty, boys. Ready to wrap her up?
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody's talking, so everybody knows what's fucking coming here. Anyways, so here we go. We'll be back next week.
You're gonna cut yourself off in the middle of
I am actually.